Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steviebreech coming to you here today. We are home from Chicago. This is not going to be the video where we go over everything from the trip because basically I don't have the time to go through it. But for some reason, I sat down and was like, "Hey, merch revolution video needs to be made." I can honestly tell you that this is probably the one trip that I've gone on that I think I've bought the least amount of stuff. And that's probably mostly because they don't really sell wrestling DVDs anymore. And when I was unpacking it and started getting this stuff straight, that was the one thing that I kind of noticed that I didn't really grab. We started off the trip by heading out to town and pick me up at the airport. From there, we went to a card store. We're actually, if anybody out there still collects baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards, does like the internet breaks or anything like that, I highly recommend Top Shelf Breaks. The guy Tommy T Stout, he works at this store, and a friend of mine from YouTube and Twitter, Chris, actually is the owner of the shop, Top Shelf Breaks. The first day I did a tour of the shop. We got to go in after it closed. Well, this is honestly because Tommy worked there too. But we were in there after it closed. The guy wasn't even paying attention to us as we ran through the shop. Really, really cool stuff. And when I was there, I pretty much went through the boxes of cards that were sitting out. I bought basically all the Kings, Sacramento Kings, Atlanta Braves, and San Francisco 49er cards that I saw basically laying around the shop. From there, I picked up this cool Topps hat. That is pretty cool. I got this Topps t-shirt. I honestly see the guys on the Dan Le Batard show when I watch the show instead of listening to the podcast, and they were wearing shirts basically like this. And I went on to the Topps website to buy these shirts. I think they sell for like $30 to $35. And he gave me, I think he actually gave this to me. He either gave me the hat or gave me the shirt, one or the other. So, damn cool guy. Can't recommend him more. And next time he does like a wrestling break, I will let you guys know. From there, we went to Pro Wrestling Tees. And, of course, they run, I can't remember if it's Shop AEW or AEW Shop. AEW Shop sounds better. But these guys got me good more than anybody else. Going to the store was really cool. Everybody said I was marking out the way that they all went the first time they went. Now that they've been a few times, it's not really that big of a deal. But to go to a store that only sells wrestling merchandise, even though they have mostly AEW stuff in there right now. They've got some indie workers and stuff like that, some legends. My buddy Jim would really love this store. Jim, if you're watching this, make this a goal. Head to Chicago. Check out Pro Wrestling Tees because you'd go bananas in there. But, of course, they were running the AEW Revolution sale for the pay-per-view, 20% off of everything. They gave you the same deals in the store that they did on the website. So everything wall-to-wall, 20% off. So went bananas in there. Everybody guessed wrong. Everybody was under their guess. Mostly people thought when I put the stuff on the counter that it was going to be well over $200, and we didn't make it. First thing that I grabbed was this Bobble Brawler by Pro Wrestling Tees. Young Bucks bobbleheads. I don't intend to keep this in the box. If I can find someplace in my room to put this, like on one of my nightstands, I think this would be a cool piece to actually have out. So, I had some small regrets about not bringing this to C2E2 when I met the Young Bucks, but I think that's to be a cooler piece to have out there. And maybe once I open it up and actually see like the ring they're sitting in, if maybe they could assign the ring, maybe then I'll think about it. But it is what it is. In the store, I bought a grab bag of t-shirts that they say they're messed up. I look at these shirts. I buy these every single time I buy anything from Pro Wrestling Tees. I buy the bought shirts. They actually had a box you could buy for $10.99. They had 3 of them. they never look like they got anything wrong on them. I think it's just trying to be perfect, and maybe they missed the middle of the shirt when they pressed the logo on there. But we got the we figured it out. This is a Scorpio Sky shirt. We got a Terry Funk You shirt. This would be a cool shirt, but I just got this. So my buddy Miguel told me that he thought it was a cool shirt when I got it. So if he doesn't have it, I'm actually gonna see if he wants me to send it to him. And then I don't know who Brandy Laurel is, but maybe, you know, in a few months I'll find out who she is. She doesn't look like that girl. Her name's Alexei. Anyway, the one who blows the bubble all the time in her pictures. So I'm not sure. This story of this shirt is pretty funny. I put all my stuff on the counter and I told everybody that I wanted to make one more quick lap, and I apologize, but everybody said take your time. And I pointed at this and laughed to Ravi, and I was like, I didn't think they can make bootleg Bullet Club shirts anymore, especially for the Motor City Machine Guns. And he looked at me and he was like, why do you think it says MKKA on it? Machine Gun Karl Anderson. I really like Machine Gun Karl Anderson. I'm glad that I was able to get this shirt. I actually thought that there was no chance that I would actually ever get a chance to get it. They didn't have the AJ Styles one. I would have got that, especially if it would have had the AJ tattoo on the side. But from everybody who knows, I loved Talking Shop and Machine Gun Karl Anderson, so I was able to pick that one up. If you're buying that, there's no way you're not buying the Luke Gallows one. And I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the Hangman Page Bullet Club shirt. That's one that I really, really do want. I don't have the Chase Owens one. And I don't have, one more guy. But besides that, I think I got every single Bullet Club shirt that they ever came out with. Here we go. This was like that knockoff NXT shirt that the Young Bucks made and had a Pro Wrestling Tees really cheap just to kind of like kick rocks at them. But the 20% off, it was no way it wasn't going to turn that one down. And there we go to, I actually traded this for a baseball card. This is the Chicago style Bullet Club. Chicago, Illinois, it says on the bottom. It even has the New Japan logo in the back with the Chicago flag running through it. I pretty much knew that that's what I was going to go for, so I'm glad that I got that. I didn't pick this up at the shop. I actually bought this at the Revolution show, but this is the AEW hoodie. This is honestly the most comfortable hoodie that I've ever owned, and I now own two of them. I own the regular black and gold version, and I owned the Chicago AEW one. I actually also bought the hat, but I think I left that in the car. I picked up this hat also at Pro Wrestling Tees. I wanted the orange version, but I think I've fallen in love with this green one, Broken Skull Ranch. Stone Cold Steve Austin hat, of course, when he did the shows on the WWE Network, he conveniently took the hat off and left it on the desk for a good little plug. But like Ravi said, it was Justin who said it, I apologize. I've never seen a hat fit somebody more than that hat fits me. From there, I was scrounging around. I had never seen these before, but I honestly always thought that these little micro brawlers were like stuffed animals. And then when I was in Mike's room looking around, he had a few of these actually set up, and I touched them, and I was like, I thought that they honestly were like t-shirt material with like stuffing in there, but these are actually like real figures. I mean, they don't have the dimensions. They're not like a Mattel or anything like that, but these things are honestly really, really cool, and I don't want to get sucked into collecting these. I just bought the three coolest ones that I saw. I bought the Macho King, Randy Savage. I bought Colt Cabana, and I bought the regular size Marty Scurll. The Mandy Leon one looked really, really nice. Actually had a huge rack on it. But I felt like I would be picked up for buying that one. From there we go to the, these used to be over. Something to wrestle, actually, fanny packs. These actually were over like 2 years ago. They were selling these for 25 bucks. I think I got it for $4 in the clearance bin. So, I guess I'm glad that I waited. These are those watches that they had us wear at the show. I apologize, AEW, but I took it. And it actually flashed until late that night. And I don't know if they just... well, there's no way in the world they're still sending a signal to it anymore, or if the battery died or what, but I'll get sick of having this and I'll toss it out one day. But for now, it seemed like that was coming home with me. These are those AEW bags that they were giving out when they went into C2E2. Oh, I apologize. I spent all that money at Pro Wrestling Tees, as well as the merch stand at the Revolution thing, buying stuff from them. And I really wanted to buy a Stomp in Paradise shirt, which they didn't have there. It's the Hawkins and Ryder podcast. I wanted one of those. I wanted a shirt from my buddy Jared. What was Jared? Oh, Trademark, right? Trademark is gotten into wrestling. He's a manager. Hopefully you guys follow him on Twitter and Instagram. And if I was a good friend, I'd be able to tell you what his name was on there. It's like Jared Silkerson, something close to that. I really wanted to buy those shirts. They were not doing printing. I'm sure it's because of the fact that their crew was split all over town. I'm sure that they were selling stuff at the store. I'm sure that they were still trying to print things that they were selling on the website. I'm sure that they were, having people at C2E2 to run their stand there. Probably having to put people in the AEW merch stands since they make the stuff for them. So I understand. So I bought some stuff that'll be coming soon. These are the AEW bags. Don't worry. And why do you take so many? They were free. I'm sure that I'll use them, or I'm sure somebody out there is going to ask for them. But I'm sure that they still have many boxes of those sitting around. This is my thingy from C2E2. I don't know what they're putting that over, but and then I met the Hurricane at C2E2. This, of course, is the early Mattels. This is, I believe, Series... I just saw it. Series 5. Hurricane, kind of when he was in ECW. The early days, all the figures came out with some sort of a chase, 1 of 1,000. The early ones came with title belts, and they sort of started putting chairs in there and all kinds of other things. And then I think they realized that the gimmick didn't need to happen anymore, so they just stopped doing it. But he just kept looking at it, and I was talking to him, and I just telling him, "Do you need it? Do you not have it?" And he just kept saying, "I don't know." And I kept trying to give it to him. Honestly, my goal was, I really wanted to honestly trade this for a picture because I didn't want to pay for it, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes of miscellaneous figures and magazines of wrestling merch that just sit here, and I would love to get out of these someday, but it is what it is. So now I'm glad I got it signed. I was able to get a picture with him as well. So that's the figure. He took a picture of it, and he said he was going to text Ryder about it. So we'll see if anything comes from that. This is the Young Bucks 8x10. It's not really an 8x10, but they were giving these out for the book, Young Bucks Killing the Business. Signed it. I believe he put 2 Steven B Elite on there, Nick and Matt Jackson. To meet the Bucks, you paid $35. You're going to get their book when it comes. I'm hoping that it's going to come signed. I'm not sure that it is. But bought it from Anderson's Bookshop. I'm not sure if that's actually the publisher or just the company that just wanted to sell a bunch of books and knew that they had a stand that would work. So, besides for the AEW hat with the Chicago logo in it, I also got this Jake the Snake Roberts pop, which basically almost didn't make it back. I bought this for $5 at the Pro Wrestling Tee store. I actually bought it from a guy who worked there and didn't want it anymore. So that's all my stuff. Got a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. Chicago was a blast. Hopefully they do a show there or anywhere you guys get out of your way and check that out. Peace out, everybody. Thank you very much.